Hi everybody, welcome to SimpleToons. My name's Arrow. Let's get right to it. Before you start, make sure that you have your pencil, make sure that you have an ink pen, preferably permanent, and make sure that you have an eraser. Now when I say eraser, it's always good to have something that's not on the end of your pencil. These separate erasers, they work a lot better, and the things that are on the ends of pencils, they just tend to smear things all over the place. So always use a separate eraser. It's just the way to do it. It works best. Today we're going to be drawing a cat. Now, before we start, it's important that I mention that cats are one of the most popular animals that people like to draw. There must be hundreds of different ways to draw a cat, and it's only fair to say that none of them are wrong or better than the other. Today I'm going to show you how to draw a couple different versions of cartoon cats that will hopefully inspire you to be creative and develop your own versions or styles. Again, as I always like to remind you, it's not important that you draw exactly like I do, but that you understand the concepts and foundations of what we're doing and use it as a stepping stone. Maybe you can create something on your own. I always say the best stuff is the stuff we create on our own, and it usually happens accidentally. Okay, that's enough talking. Let's get right to it. We're going to start off by drawing a circle. Probably about the size of a golf ball. Maybe a little bigger than a quarter, but usually, golf ball size works just fine. Then what we're going to do is we're going to draw two more circles on the inside. We're going to draw one underneath here. We're going to draw one right here. Very lightly. If you draw too hard, we're not going to be able to erase these lines, and that's the object at the end. We want to get rid of all the lines after we ink it in. Okay, on the top, we're going to draw two triangles. We're going to draw one here. You can make them as big as you like because those are going to be the ears. Okay, and then we're going to draw one more circle right here, a little tiny circle. And that's going to be the nose. You can see the face of the cat coming out here, can't you? Okay, then we're going to draw the neck. Now you can do whatever you like for the neck. Some people don't like to use a neck, but I'm going to put a little tiny rectangle in there to represent the neck. And like I said, if you don't want to have a neck, you don't have to. All right, then we're going to draw the cat's body, and the body is going to be an oval for right now. If you want to make a fat cat, you can make a great big circle, or you can make a skinny circle. I'm going to do something kind of right in between. And that circle is going to be a little bigger than a quarter. Okay, now then what we're going to do is we're going to draw two ovals. One's going to be here, and one's going to be over here. Now, keep in mind, I'm going kind of fast here because I only have a limited amount of time. You can always go back and look at what we did and, go through it at your own pace. So I'm going to draw this oval here, and I'm going to draw this oval here. Now it's important to note, these ovals all came to the bottom at the same place. If I drew a line down here, they would all meet at the bottom. The reason for that is these are going to be the legs. And then we're going to put feet down here. In fact, why don't we go ahead and do that? We're going to draw two ovals to represent the feet. Like this. And we're going to do the same thing over here. And again, you can make these feet as large or small as you like. Okay? Now, let's make the front paws. The front paws are going to be the same thing. We're just going to draw two little circles, one here and one here. Kind of see how this cat's starting to come together now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line right down the middle to help me know where the cat's legs are. Okay? And then in the back, we're just going to draw a tail. This is the fun part. Just anything you want. It's one of the very few times that we haven't used a shape to draw the tail or draw an object on one of my characters. Okay, well, if you've gotten that far, let's go ahead and start and ink it in. If you haven't been able to keep up with me, go back and try to catch up here. I'll wait for you. All right, we're going to start at the top. We're going to draw the ears, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw up and down, but I'm not going to bring this in down here. Just those two top parts right here. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing over here. We'll go ahead and bring the head together like this. Now, we can do two things with the head. We can bring the head around and just draw a circle, or what we can do is you can put jaggies in here to give it the impression that it has fur. It's up to you how you do it. Sometimes cats just like to have a round face. If you look at Garfield, that's a great example. Garfield has a round face. But I'm going to go ahead and put jagged, kind of hair on here, and they're going to be sloping down. I'm going to stop at these bottom circles. I don't want to draw all over the mouth. We'll do the same thing here. Jaggies. Usually 3 of them looks pretty good. Okay, now what we're going to do is on the ears, we're going to draw a second triangle in here, or a line, just to make it look like it's got the inside of the ears. And same thing here, line. Okay, for the mouth, there's 2 ways you can do this. We can bring these circles all the way around if you want, but the way I like to do it is I like to just draw the bottom up and then around. And stop. I don't want to connect up here, and I'll show you why. In fact, let's go ahead and draw the nose in first. And color that in if you want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this line up, around, and stop right here. See that? So I didn't come all the way up. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to go around and up, and I'm going to stop. Now, if you want to bring that line all the way up, you can do that. It's not going to ruin anything, but I just happen to like it better without it. And then underneath, we're going to draw the mouth, and all that is just a little tiny half circles down there. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and draw the neck in. 2 lines, very simple. And then what we're going to do, and this is the part where it gets a little bit complicated. I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to stop about halfway down. So I'm going to start here, work my way down, and stop. Don't go all the way down. Same thing on the other side. We're going to come down, and we're going to stop right here. Just like that. Now, if you bring it all the way down, you can do that, but what's going to end up happening is it's going to mess up the front feet. It's also going to take away the impression that that's his body, her body. Okay. All right. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the legs up, around, and down, and we're going to stop on the foot. Up, around, down, and stop. Same thing on the other side. Up, around, down, and stop. It's like an upside down letter J. All right, from there we're going to draw the feet in, but let's start with the front feet because they're going to be the part that's the closest to us, so we want to draw that first. I'm going to bring the line down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw these paws in. But you'll notice that this part right here, it shows where the legs are separated. So what we can do is we can draw a second line in there and come down and stop at the top of the foot. Same thing on the other side. So you'll notice the middle line is longer than the other 2. The reason for that is because when I draw these feet in, it'll connect down and give the impression that there's 2 feet. Now, if you brought those 2 outside lines all the way down, well, all I can say is we can ink it around and make the paws look like they're down in front, or you can go back and start all over again. Okay. Back feet. We're going to bring these around and up to the other feet. So we'll go out, around, and stop. Same thing on the other side. We're going to go out, around, and stop. Out, around, and stop. And let's go ahead and put the tail on. Okay, we've got the basic idea here now. Let's go ahead and put in some details that are going to make things look a little bit better. Okay, the first things, let's put little claws on his feet. Line, line, 2 lines on each foot is fine. If you want to put 3, you can. Same thing on the front paws. The other detail I like to do is the body. Now, I told you earlier that we only wanted to come down to here and we wanted to stop. Well, we're going to just draw a little bit of a line as if the line came up just a little bit, just to give it the impression the body goes all the way down without having to draw this all the way through. Okay? Now the eyes. Let's talk about the eyes. There's a lot of different ways. We always talk about the eyes being a way that the way you feel comfortable with it. We can draw two little dots. We can draw lines. We can draw vertical lines. I like to draw circles. So I'm going to draw two circles. And then dots inside for the eyes. Maybe give them some eyebrows. It's starting to look like a cat now, isn't it? Now we're missing the most important thing, and that's the whiskers. We just draw 3 whiskers. 1, 2, 3. Just draw them quick. Same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3. And that's a pretty cool looking cat. Okay, now I said I was going to draw 2 of these for you, so we're going to do another one. This one's going to be a little bit tougher. If you had trouble with this one, you might want to go back and try it a couple times and then come back and try the harder one we're about to do. Okay, let's put the ink pen away and get our pencils out. And what we're going to do on this one is we're going to start with the head again. So we're going to draw a circle, just like we did last time, about the same size. Except this time what we're going to do is that these 2 circles that we drew for the mouth the first time, we're going to do the same thing here, but we're going to put them off to the side. So they're going to look like this. Okay? And then this is going to be the nose, so we'll draw the nose here. And then the triangles that we did for the ears, we're going to put one here, and we're going to put one on the other side. Now you'll see what's going on here if you look really closely. What I'm doing is we're drawing the same cat, but we're drawing him, he's looking to the side now. Instead of him facing right at us, we're going to kind of turn it about 45 degrees so he's looking off to the side. Okay, let's do something else with this cat. Let's make him fatter. Let's make him really heavy looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a big circle. And you'll notice that if I were to draw right down the middle of this circle here is actually off center a little bit. I didn't put it directly underneath like a snowman. I kind of moved it over just a little bit. And the reason for that is when the cat is sitting, he's going to, when you turn, okay, if he's facing forwards like this, when you turn him sideways, he's actually going to be leaning forwards like this a little bit. And that's kind of what we did here. We're going to create this illusion that he's leaning forwards like a cat usually does. Okay? Now the legs, we're going to do the same thing we did here with the ovals, but these legs are going to be a little rounder because we're turned to the sides. So we're going to draw a circle like this. And then on the other side, we're going to do the same thing, but you're going to draw it very, very lightly. And the reason for that is because this line right here, we're not even going to see that line. It's going to be completely gone when we erase it. Okay, same thing underneath. We're going to draw an oval for the foot. And the same thing here. We're going to draw an oval for the other foot. Okay. And then we're going to draw the paws, the front paws. One little circle here and one little circle here. I told you this one was going to be a little harder. Okay, and then we'll draw a line down the middle to represent his front legs. And what we can do is we can draw 2 lines. Alright, and then we'll draw the tail. And then just a squiggly line, and what I do is just draw a straight line like that, put a curve on the end, and then follow the line back. Alright. Let's go ahead and ink this in and see what happens here. Again, if you weren't able to keep up with me, that's totally alright. Most time it's hard to do that. Just go back and try it again and come back to where we are now. Alright. This one's going to be tough, so follow very carefully. We're going to start with the ears. This ear is going to go up and down, and you're not going to draw this line. We're going to leave it open like this. This ear, we are going to draw through. We're going to draw it like this, up and down. The reason I closed that one off is because when the head comes over and around, it's going to cross off that triangle a little bit. But before we do that, let's draw the mouth. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to come around, up, and around, up. In fact, let's draw the nose first, just to give us a reference spot. Okay, here we go. Watch closely. I'm going to go around, up, stop, and around, and stop. And I'm not going to go all the way up to the nose. I suppose you can if you want, but you don't have to. Okay. We're going to bring this line down, give them some little jaggies there, and the same thing on the other side, little jaggies here. Across the top, we're just going to bring his head over. Now, for his back, let's wait on that. Let's draw the legs first, because this is the part that's the closest to us. We like to draw the things that are closest to us first. What we're going to do is we're going to come around, down, and draw his feet. We're not going to draw the whole circle. Let me show you what I mean. Come around, stop, and then bring his foot out like this. Okay. For his back, I like to draw little jaggies back here too, all the way down. Okay, for the front legs, come down. I'm going to draw the paw. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Come down, draw the front paw. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw his front leg over here. And the way we're going to do that is we're just going to come down and come out and around, using your shapes as a reference. Around, and out and down. Okay, now from his head, we're going to bring this down to the left leg, like that. Okay, we'll put his tail on. And then the little claws that we had earlier. Okay, now let's get the eyes drawn in here. All I'm going to do for the eyes, now let's see here. Let's do something a little different this time. Well, I'm going to draw circles again. I'm going to draw slashes in here to make them kind of look kind of lazy, like that. And dots. There we go. Now we got to do the ears again like we did earlier. Put a second triangle in there, at least on that one side. And then the whiskers. Don't forget the whiskers. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Eyebrows. Just little details here and there. Okay, then we'll draw the ground in here. Now, after we get all that done, if you made it that far, let's go ahead and erase these pencil lines. Just take your eraser, you're going to go over it, and if you used a permanent marker, hopefully nothing will smear. Alright, then we'll just get rid of all these erasers. It's not the best cat I've ever drawn, but it's certainly a good looking cat. And we can draw the mouth in here too if you want. Forgot about that. Anyway, if you have any questions, please leave them at the bottom and I'll try to answer them. If you have any animals you'd like to see drawn or learn how to draw, Let me know about those too. If you liked the video, please click the like button, and most of all, please subscribe, because the more subscribers I get, the more people that see this, and we can help people draw and learn how to draw. Thanks again for visiting SimpleToons, and we'll see you next time.